Alright, so I'm going to show how to make a Western style poster kind of like this one. So to start off, go to File, New, and then in inches, make it 24 by 36 to get a good poster size. And then for your main character for your poster, choose that and then resize it. Once you have the size, you can go ahead and move that around to where you want it to be. That'll be good. And then to start off, you probably want to duplicate it 2 or 3 times, and then you can go ahead and hide those. And then to start off with the paint effect for the main character of your poster, you can choose the base layer and then go to filter and then artistic, then cut out. And then here with the levels, I have it at 8, 0, and 3, and it's pretty good for my picture, so I'm going to go ahead and choose those. And then now that it has this, next thing that you can do is add another filter, and it's under brush strokes. Actually, it's under artistic, sorry. It's called dry brush, and it gives it kind of a painted look, sort of. So you can use that. I have the settings at 10, 10, and 1. And then after that, you can use one of your copies. Go ahead and show it, and select it, and then use another filter, and go to sketch, and then torn edges. And you probably want to have the smoothness all the way down to 1, and then the image balance up here kind of changes around, but I would choose it for where you want your shadows to be on your picture. I'm gonna choose around 37, and I'm gonna go ahead and accept that. And then with the same layer selected, go up here to opacity, and then change that, bring it down to where you want the shadow to be, probably pretty low because you don't want it too noticeable. Probably gonna have mine around 8. Yeah. So once you have done that, you can go back here. You could make sure that these are visible and these aren't, and then you can just right click and then hit merge visible. What would be best is if you did this on one of your duplicated layers. So go ahead and make that visible, and then go to artistic and then palette knife. That way you can change the opacity better and you have more control over it. So this is going to give it a more blurry, it's going to make it blurrier, but it's going to kind of give it a more painted look to it. So the settings that I have right now are 25, 3, and 0, and that should be pretty good. And then what you want to do is change the opacity on this, and you could probably get it pretty blurry. So I'm going to go with around 32. And then once you have that, I would just merge the visible and make this one visible, and then change the opacity and move it really far down. It's just to get the sharpness back and more of the original picture back into the image. So I'm going to choose around 40. And then once you have that, you can merge down. And then the next part is where you would want to go over here and then to the brush, and then to the drop down menu choose mixer brush tool, and then the settings that I have: the wet 2%, load 2%, mix 95%, and flow 100%. It is very, it doesn't drag as much when you drag it around. It's more difficult to blend in, which is kind of what you want, so it doesn't over blend and make it as blurry as you don't want it too blurry. You still want the details of your image. So what you want to do is kind of blend in the layers around here. And then once you have the colors blended in that you want and it looks the best to you, the next part of it would be you could probably sharpen it up, so we could make this visible and then change the opacity on it again and make it pretty low. Just kind of bring back the details in the picture though, but still want the paint effect. So I'm going to go around 10%, and then you can just flatten the image after that. And then once you're here, what we want to do next would be to change the saturation and color of the image. So to do that, go to Image Adjustments, then Hue, Saturation. Bring up the saturation probably to around 50 or so, and then select that, whatever looks best. And then the next part is would be Image Adjustments, and then you want to go to Selective Color, and then choose color. On the colors, choose reds, and then make that yellow, as yellow as you can make it, and then go to yellows and then make the magenta all the way up. Or actually on this, what you would probably, not as much, and then bring the black up to darken the shadows, but still keep it red and orangey tinted. What I did with the other one, I just kind of based it off of different other posters that I saw. So you could go down and change the color. I had white before, so I'm just going to use that same type of thing, and then I'm kind of where the cast might be, where you might put the names there, and then I'll just put this down. And then after that, what I did is, for the other one, I had the background of these rocks, so I'm just going to paste these in here and change the size of them. And then what I did for the background was kind of similar to what I did with the character for the Western. Just place it where I need to. And then what I did on the other one, I'm just going to create a new layer. I use this brush that I downloaded. So if you select the brush tool, I have this brush, and it kind of gives it kind of like a paint sort of look to it. But that's what I put my title on. So I'm gonna just go ahead and use this new layer and then paint kind of this kind of streak across the top where the title is going to be. And then I'm gonna put that behind there. And then the next step would simply be to add your title up here if you wanted to. This should give you an idea of kind of how to get the idea of how to start with a Western poster, because it really just depends on the picture that you want to do, or the style, or the theme of your Western poster. I hope it helped.